Welcome to Voices for Impact, the podcast. Started during the COVID-19 pandemic and made in Syracuse, Voices for Impact is full of conversations with thought leaders from around the world that have made significant accomplishments in their lives and have gone through their own challenges, but have made it through those adversities and made positive impacts through their work. I'm your host, Danielle Mensing, and as a fundraiser for a nonprofit, I believe the most valuable tool you can give yourself is making a positive impact on others and your community. Every conversation is going to give you tools and tactics from entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, and change makers that will encourage you to develop a growth mindset and reimagine how you can find your purpose. Now let's get started. This episode of Voices for Impact is sponsored by Empowered Nutrition. Empowered Nutrition is a nutrition coaching business that empowers young women to simplify life by moving away from the all-consuming diet mentality. Through individual and group nutrition coaching, clients find their inner confidence so they can define their own path of health and happiness. Contact registered dietitian and owner Emily Holdorf at emily@empowerednutrition.co, online at www.empowerednutrition.co, or on social media at Emily_the_RD. If you would like to advertise on an episode of Voices for Impact, contact us through Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Now back to the episode. Hello and welcome to Voices for Impact. My name is Danielle Mensing, founder of Voices for Impact, and today I am chatting with a high school friend of mine, Nicholas Courgi. We both attended Fayetteville Manlius High School together, graduating in 2010. Nick is a Syracuse native, and at 3 years old, he was diagnosed with high-functioning autism. He's been a huge part of many theatrical productions throughout Central New York and has volunteered and fundraised for many nonprofits throughout Syracuse. And Nick has worked for the Syracuse Children's Theater and Muse Arts, helping them with their marketing and social media efforts. So thank you so much for having a conversation with me today, Nick.
Hi, Danielle.
So tell me first, could you educate us on what is autism?
Okay, in my own words, autism is a developmental disability that affects how we learn and process information, as well as our ability to socialize with others. According to the Centers for Disease Control on the Autism Speaks website, autism affects an estimated 1 in 54 children in the United States today. Because autism is a spectrum disorder, each person with autism has a distinct set of strengths and challenges. The ways in which people with autism learn, think, and problem solve can range from highly skilled to severely challenged. That's something I found on the Autism Speaks website. And some of the things I learned while having autism are pretty much that social situations are difficult for people on the spectrum. Examples including eye contact as well as honesty, in the fact that we are very black and white. We are a bit too literal as far as understanding, certain jokes and expressions. We have specific interests and we tend to talk about those interests. Being autistic, as you may know, is kind of like playing musical chairs. You always feel like you're the last one standing. So my advice to anyone out there is just, if you see someone in that situation, rescue them and talk to them.
Great tip.
And then what I found, I was attending a webinar through my cousin in Washington, D.C. And there's a very interesting statistic I found in that webinar, which is pretty much that the autism community has a 90% underemployment rate. And it comes from Danny Combs, who is the founder of the Teaching the Autism Community Trades, which is an organization that they find trades for people an agency where they find jobs for people with disabilities in the trades.
Mhm.
In Colorado, he's also a local musician as well as a father to an autistic child.
So many people have different thoughts and aren't completely educated on autism. So it's really helpful to hear it from you as to what autism means. And Nick, you're such a nice person. You have such a good heart. You're so active within the musical theater industry here locally. What are some positive traits that you could name of somebody with autism?
Well, I would say the difference I think between people with special needs and people without special needs um, is that we are very used to having a routine. We're used to having a certain routine, but with like the pandemic, everything has changed.
Right.
So I would say we know how to stick to a routine. We work very hard. We're very like task oriented.
Next question is what drives you?
So what drives me is having that sense of accomplishment and feeling good that I was able to utilize my skill and abilities to the fullest in some capacity. I can give you some examples. One of them is, of course, being able to give hope to families and individuals affected with autism through my speeches and my videos. Seeing friends and family members loving the photos I put up on social media. The pride, as we were mentioning before about theater, pride in the 30 plus theatrical productions I've been in with the Syracuse theater community. Volunteering my time photographing special events for friends and family, friends and fundraisers for nonprofits such as their St. Elias Church I photographed, the Rama Clinic, as well as Clear Path for Veterans. Most recently, I helped Arc of Onondaga and Vera House with collecting silent auction items, as well as seeing the wonderful recommendations that have been posted on my LinkedIn page.
Excellent. Those are all wonderful things. And you do so much within the community. And the fundraising that you've done as a fundraiser myself, for these nonprofits is just amazing. So thank you for all the work that you've done with that. How do you get into a positive mindset?
I would say, in my experience, I'm more of a creative person. And I think that's where we can both relate to, is that level of creativity. Examples, I would say, are obviously photography, obviously writing, theaters, another one, social media. I've also done, a lot of birthday posts on social media, utilizing my photography background, including a few surprise birthday videos I've done for certain family members. But I think besides all of that, when I'm driving, I would say listening and dancing to music always gets me in a good mood, especially because for me, driving, can be very nerve-wracking.
Mhm.
And so having something that calms you down is a good thing in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I know I'm one that I like to blast the radio. Any songs that come on, that's definitely a fun thing for me to do. And it does get your mind off of things while you're driving, right? What is one challenge that you've overcome and how did you get through that adversity?
As you may know, I got my license back in October 2017. And at first, I was very nervous and apprehensive. But now, having the freedom to go places or doing errands for my mom has made a positive impact in my life. And I was able to get through the adversity through, my mom and my grandfather's encouragement and support. And I would say another one I would say was getting a associate's degree in communication from OCC, which took 4 years. but I won the Curriculum Honor Award and was also asked to address the Board of Trustees regarding my overall experiences.
Wow, that's so great. Well, congratulations on both being able to drive and the degree at OCC. Those are both really amazing accomplishments for anybody. And it's just, it's always great when you get through those two milestones, right?
Right.
Now, my other question is, what is a skill or characteristic about you that you think has allowed you to reach your dreams and goals in life?
Well, one of the things that I've learned from my mom, most importantly, is the ability to network with people.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say being connected to people in the Arab, arts, autism, disability, education, medical, local businesses, and nonprofit communities.
That is so true. And I think you do definitely get that from your mom, Doris. Hi, Doris. She is so great at networking and talking with people. And you definitely get that from her. You just put yourself into all different sorts of things and places throughout the Central New York community, not only musical theater, but with nonprofits. And I think that is such an important skill to have. And there's many people that don't have that skill. So I think it
Right.
really sets you apart and is a very positive skill to have for sure. So my last question to you is, how do you define success?
Um, my definition of success is pretty much being able to fulfill something in your life, no matter what obstacles may come your way. If you have a dream, never give up on that, because who knows, it may be your reality in the best of ways. There is a quote that I use in all of my speeches, and it's also become like a very personal mantra for me. It's called pretty much, never let anyone's opinion of you become your reality.
I like that. Never
And
let anyone's opinion of you become your reality. That's something I think I'm going to take that mantra for myself. I think that's a really good quote to live by for sure and to keep in the back of your mind, because I think sometimes we all get wrapped up in other people's thoughts and opinions, and the only opinion that matters is your own. If you have a good heart and you're doing the right things, that's what matters, right?
amen to that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having a conversation with me today and giving us some insight into your story, Nick. It was so great to see you. Of
Thank you, Danielle. Hope to hear from you soon.
course. And thank you so much to our viewers for watching. Please stay connected with Voices for Impact on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and the podcast platforms. And I will see you next time on Voices for Impact. Bye, everyone. This episode of Voices for Impact is sponsored by Empowered Nutrition. Empowered Nutrition is a nutrition coaching business that empowers young women to simplify life by moving away from the all-consuming diet mentality. Through individual and group nutrition coaching, clients find their inner confidence so they can define their own path of health and happiness. Contact registered dietitian and owner Emily Holdorf at emily@empowerednutrition.co, online at www.empowerednutrition.co, or on social media at Emily_the_RD. If you would like to advertise on an episode of Voices for Impact, contact us through Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn.